can't believe there's people that exist, that breathe, that have reason, that believe that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. It's a very serious problem. I've met one.
That our tax dollars are being used to give trans surgeries to illegals. I have 4 links that prove it. So basically what the Democrats are doing is they are saying if you are an illegal immigrant, if you snuck into America and you want your penis cut off, American taxpayers will pay $60,000 for it. And that, why are Democrats paying for trans surgery? Because the people who are most likely to vote Democrat are trans. If you actually survey trans people, more than 90% vote Democrat. So it is in the best interest of them and in the best interest of the Democratic Party.
More immigrants in the country. If that's the case, why is it that during Biden's administration, they did more people than Trump did in his first administration?
It's just how they count the statistics.
Can't
We all
think.
know that they
Yeah.
it is.
Come on, Joe.
It is. Well, how come it simultaneously, if Biden deported the most illegals from coming into our country or that were in our country, then how does he also have the most illegals that came into our country in the span of 4 years?
But how does that become
Yeah. So it's a net loss. Like what you're looking at it as, well, you look at it as a net positive. I look at it as a net loss. So if he turned this many away from the border, let's say 30 million were trying to get in, and he only let 20 million in, but hell, he turned 10 million of them behind around and wouldn't let 10 million of them in. So look, he's tough on immigration, but he let 2/3 of them come into the country illegally. But we know it. They had an app set up. You can't deny that.
So perhaps the book might
That's
also
just
have
this is what y'all love to do is you smudge the statistics where you're clearly aligned with them. You caucus with them. There's no question. Okay, so it's clear that the agenda is just to overwhelm the right. And look, we got people on the right that go along with it for their own self-interest. Like cheap labor. Companies, they'll play both sides of the fence to get their cheap labor out of this. Walmart wants this because every little immigrant, every Jose needs a new pair of shoes, right? Self-interest. That's what people are actually driven.
No, I would agree with that. I think Democrats were just about, talking about deportation being fascism. Essentially,
because he knows how to win.
People, so I would agree with you that the Democrats are interested in self-interest, and that's essentially what Biden did. He continued, construction of the border wall. But to me, though, my point is essentially, it still stands, is that if the Democrats were in favor of letting anybody come into the country, why wouldn't the border be so many people?
I think I can answer Necro respectfully, because I do respect Necro and not be very succinct. The reason why the Democrats deported illegals would win elections, they wanted the campaign to say the border is not open. If the Democrats, and I'll answer Necro succinctly, if the Democrats knew that there would never be an election again, there would not be a single one deported. The Democrats today are constrained by the knowledge that the average voter doesn't want millions and millions of illegals to come in. And that's holding the Democrats back from what they really want. So that's your answer, Necro.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But I think really just the idea that, they like to know what that, is suggested, because the fact that they have policy that don't disincentivize people to come here, I don't think that that's the same thing.
This is Alistair. I'd like to be put in the queue, and I will be succinct.
Okay, I'm happy to pass the mic out.
So I've seen videos. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Run. It's already been. Hold on. Let me finish. It's already been run in Europe. That is ML's policy of letting violent migrants from the third world come in. It's been tested in Europe, and I'll post links. The overwhelming majority of gang rapes in Europe are committed by immigrants from the third world. The same immigrants that ML demands that America let in are committing mass gang rapes, and it's not in one country. It's in 10 different countries in Europe. So if anyone is honest and neutral and just Googles what do ML's policies do to a country, you don't have to speculate. You can see it, and I'll post a few links. I'm going to the audience. ML demands.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's been the suggestion that, immigrants in Europe, one of the things is saying that there's been rising crime among them, but I think it's also pointed out by Cato, the Canadian is a libertarian think tank, which positively is immigration, but their studies have shown that now I don't know necessarily distinguishing between people who are here legally documented versus people who are not documented. But I mean, to me, it's like.
Try to be succinct, Necro. I'd like to go next. Try to be succinct.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I've got what I need.
So I've seen videos over the past few days of Angela Merkel, former Prime Minister Tony Blair of Britain. So we have Germany, we have Britain, as well as even the Italian Prime Minister now. But the Spanish Prime Minister just recently gave 500,000 African migrants basically amnesty. And it's because the Spanish people hate their leadership, because they are allowing these illegal migrants to come in for their votes. It's the same thing here in America. The Democrats want to destroy the country by allowing millions of more illegal alien refugees from all around the world to pour in to collect their votes. It is a scheme, it is a scam, it is a fraud, and Kash Patel, when he's finished drinking all his beers, partying all the time, maybe he'll do something about it and start arresting politicians. Until we start arresting criminal politicians, nothing will change, nothing. We need arrests, and we need arrests this year, and Donald Trump has to take his eyes, his gaze, his power, and he needs to refocus within. We need to get to the root. We need to rip this tree up, and we need to chop its roots up, which is the Democrat Party. They are criminals. They are fraudsters. They are liars. They are thieves. And until we see arrests, we will never, ever be free of these parasites. These parasites are killing us. They are low IQ. They are weak. They are effeminate. They are brainwashed. They are suicidal. They hate our history. They hate themselves. And they are miserable, horrible, pathetic people who have no intelligence, no courage, no morality, no strength. And I say we crush them, we arrest them, we imprison them, and we put them through the trials and the courts. And if the Democrat judges don't agree and they release, well, then we arrest the Democrat judges. Our police must begin arresting Democrat judges who release murderers back into the streets to kill our people. We must arrest soon and now. We cannot wait. We need mass arrests in this country. I am complete.
How about the top 1%?
I mean, overall, like, I would agree that the Democrats are limiting mostly are people who want to keep immigration alive. It's like a wedge issue for the same reason. I would say the same thing about both parties, but that's why I called the question about whether or not they actually are concerned about whether they want to have immigrants coming over the border as opposed to just keeping it alive as a wedge issue to accuse the other side of xenophobia or racism.
And where's Alex Soros right now? He's in Spain with the Progressive Movement International Symposium. They call it the progressive movement. It's not progressive. It's murder. It's abortion. It's black tax reparation fraud. Tax for me. I got to pay you merely because of the historical conflict of mankind. It's a fraud. It's a hypnosis communication projection shoved down your throat of lies. And if you speak up, you're labeled racist. If you speak up, you're labeled xenophobic. And weak, effeminate men like Necro, who have had sexual intercourse with trans people, are part of the problem. This young man needs to become a man. Necro, go join the army. Go join the Marines. Go join the Navy. Do something with your lives. Be a patriot. Fight and resist this tyranny. These people are traitors. They're liars. They're low IQ. They are gay. They are effeminate. They are traitors. We need to imprison them. We need to arrest them. Their corruption, their frauds, their criminality ends. These teacher unions are RICO racketeering organizations. Guys like ML are effeminate, low IQ, and they are traitors. ML, you're the problem. Necro, you're the problem. All you people on this app that are basically on here wasting their lives creating propaganda content, you're the problem. I am complete.
Yeah, I think we should tell the people who are saying that we should go to other countries that they should be concerned.
Well, Lindsey Graham was actually reserved the Air Force.
Yeah, well, I think
But he's also still
that's the fact. So maybe he should, but he's okay with young people dying before he hits, of course. So.
Yeah, I agree. We should put all the politicians in there.
Yeah, I mean, Lindsey Graham isn't like Newt Gingrich, and he's a chick.
That's cool. What does he even do?
So what?
What's he supposed to? Who is that? Lindsey Graham? When you say he just doesn't sound very good.
I think that he should not be demanding.
He's too low to the front line. So I wouldn't want anything around the front lines. Trust me, I wouldn't.
Oh, you're going to go to the front lines, ML, and defend America? Yeah, right, ML. You'll be at the back of the line complaining like that's all you do. Lindsey Graham knows how to win. People don't like Lindsey Graham because he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and he's unstoppable. And you got to respect the winning. Guys like ML say, oh, I won't fight in the front lines with Lindsey Graham. Yeah, right, ML. You won't be at the front lines. You'll be in the back of the line complaining like what you do on Clubhouse for years. You fucking complaining little cuck. You're a cuck complainer. You're a Democrat liar. You're a fraudster and a spinner. You are an effeminate, weak traitor. We don't respect you, and we should deport you, we should arrest you, and we should send you back to your mother country. Goodbye, ML. Puh.
What's your mother country? Because who doesn't represent the masses? That idiot that was talking there?
That idiot. Who is that guy?
Yeah. I mean, I especially think that he should not be let into the White House after he talked about invading other countries like Cuba to try to establish U.S. supremacy.
And we are. So, like it or lump it.
Trump cannot fail us. He has to go within. He has to root out these Democrat criminal politicians in every major U.S. city by using the FBI and the local police. And if he has to deputize the police and make them federal employees because the city is going to fire them, so be it. We will create the largest federal criminal police network the world has ever seen, and we will mass deport all the illegal aliens. We won't allow one illegal alien in this fucking country, not one. You will be here with your legal papers. There's no, I got here, and then we're going to figure it out. No. If you go to India, if you go to Russia, and you fuck around, you will be put in jail in a slave labor camp for 10 fucking years. In America, we give you housing, we give you credit card, we give you food, we give you daycare, we give you healthcare, we give you everything you need. But not anymore when Donald Trump realizes the scam and the fraud, and he's still funding it because he doesn't know how to cut off the money. Because the Democrat judges keep saying, no, Donald Trump, it is already in legislation. We've got the money. We're taking the money. No, Donald Trump, deploy the police. Make arrests. Don't let these Democrat judges get away with it. Make warfare and lawfare your motto, your methodology to conquesting America, because we've been conquested by the liberal left woke progressives. This progressive movement is a fraud. It is a communist socialist scam to fuck the taxpayers. These people are liars and fraudsters, and until we use the police to make arrests, nothing will change. We have to advocate for the police making arrests of politicians, using the FBI and lawyers and judges to file RICO charges. These are criminal conspiracies and racketeering. We won't allow it. It's criminality. It's fraud. It's lying. It's scamming. Guys like ML, I won't go serve in the front line with Lindsey Graham. ML, you're a fucking complainer. Get in the back of the line, bitch.
So here's an example. I think Sean has me confused with Ann because he keeps talking to Ann and Ann is not talking at all. So the bias, the prejudice, go get it, girl or boy. I don't know.
We have a county treasurer here in Illinois. She stole $50 million from the county. How the fuck is that even possible? It's because there's nobody's watching. We don't have actuarial scientists, forensic accountants. We don't know what the fuck to do. Fraud is everywhere. And in Chicago, the mayor can take out $1 billion loan to pass it out to his nonprofit scam artist friends. It's all taxation under a different name. It's called the progressive movement is really just the we're going to tax you more movement. That's all it really is, folks. It's a fucking fraud. It's a scam. ML, get to the back of the line. Keep complaining.
Well, I'll start complaining when I'm not in a 37% tax bracket anymore. But I'm good. Your bitch ass is the one who's fucking complaining. You, the price of gas. You're complaining about the price of gas right now. So shut up.
So tell me, how does the individual taxpayer have control over the price of gas?
Yeah, I never mentioned gas once, folks. Note that he brings up gas. I didn't bring it up. I said the progressive movement is a taxation movement. It's a scam and it's a fraud. Go ahead, ML. Complain about the gas price. Go ahead.
I don't complain about the gas price because guess what? I don't complain about groceries because guess what? I'm good.
Oh, and you know what's so amazing is the government butters your bread. You work in IT in the army or whatever the fuck you did, but you didn't start a business. The government made you wealthy. The government funded your adjusted gross income every year, you fucking complainer. The government did it for you. It wasn't your own hard work. It was a parasitic relationship. You are a parasite. Go back to the line and complain, bitch.
Are you a kid?
Why you
Mr. Young guy?
Bitch.
You come in these good rooms and you take advantage of Ann and Matt Cool's goodwill. But ML, you're the worst of them. You're a double hypocrite and you're a parasite. Go back to the end of the line and complain, bitch. Like I said, I got a 6-figure income. I don't need to worry about my grocery prices. ML, if I was in charge, I'd have you arrested and deported back to your mother country because you're a parasite. And we're going to prevent all parasites from continuing to leach and draw the blood from our beautiful system. You're just a parasite, ML. Go to the back of the line and complain, bitch.
Virgin Islands, he's American.
guys need to stop saying that. You guys are ridiculous. Like
My mother country. Listen, I just cleared my lot.
dumb.
Hey, dumbass.
Go back to politically correct and agree with the echo chamber, ML. Go back to your safe space and politically correct with all your friends, ML. You're just a parasite, ML. Go back to politically correct and complain over there, bitch. Go complain over there, bitch. You're just a complaining bitch.
Dude, he admitted to being a parasite. Move on.
I know.
Yeah, the U.S. Virgin Islands have only been a territory for about 100 years. So,
It's more than 100 years. More than 100 years.
108 years.
No, we're not going to send him back to. That's not his mother country. It's some African place on the west coast of Africa. That's where we're going to send him back to.
So I don't know how you're going to take out the white. I don't know how you're going to take out the white blood in me.
No, but ML, we clearly have different political agendas, and that's ultimately what the immigration argument's really all about, is the political agenda. Would you agree?
No.
It's not really about how much crime illegals commit or don't commit, right? You can say those statistics don't really play a factor in the debate about immigration. It's really about politics, right?
It's about votes. It's about who rules and runs and governs them, Mal. We don't want parasites like you ruling over us. We don't want trans social activists ruling over us. We don't want Democrat female criminal lawyers and abortionists ruling over us. We don't want black reparation tax socialist communists ruling over us, ML. That's why you gotta get to the back of the line with Lindsey Graham and keep complaining, bitch.
Yeah, hold on, Spartan. You look, ML, you have a lot to say, but when I ask you very direct questions, you don't
Because
have
I'm working. What was the question? I was away from my phone.
Oh, now you're
No, I was. That's why sometimes you guys don't hear me.
making all that American money, right?
I am an American. Which end of money do you want me to make? You want me to get paid in euros or pounds? What is it? Or what do you want me to get paid in?
Do you live in America and work in America?
He's from the U.S. Virgin Islands. He's an American.
Yeah, but it's not really a flex though to talk about how rich you are.
No, I said I'm not complaining about the price of shit, and I'm good.
Hold on, what's the cost of living?
Joe, he did the most.
How much do you have to pay for your import tax when you actually have to bring stuff in? The cost of living in our territories is extremely expensive. I'm sure y'all have additional taxes or tariffs, just like Puerto Rico does. And right?
Yes, they do import a lot of the stuff, but I don't.
It's super fucking expensive.
Hold on.
And I would have to guess that the U.S. Virgin Islands are just like Hawaii and Puerto Rico. That most of the money, that when you look at it from the countryside, like Hawaii, $4 out of $5 that goes to Hawaii is because of federal money. And I'm sure it's the same for U.S. Virgin Islands. They don't really have much.
No.
They're making tons.
Serious? Do you know? Hold on, Joe. Listen, you guys talk and you guys know what you're talking about. Do you know for the last? Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
Virgin Islands don't get any federal funds.
Joe, we get more tourists to the Virgin Islands than I think
In Hawaii, look, Hawaii gets a lot of tourists.
Hold on.
$4 out of $5. Hawaii wouldn't exist without the American influence.
That is bullshit. Because Hawaii.
That's
Have you ever lived in Hawaii? Have you ever lived in Hawaii?
okay, so $4 out of $5 that go to Hawaii comes from federal funds. It's not from the tourism. It's not their largest industry. Federal assistance is their largest industry. Now it comes through many different forms of federal assistance. A lot of it has to do with the money that
It's
goes
the
to
military bases,
Yeah,
nigga. Pearl Harbor,
same with the people who
Caps,
most And it doesn't dispute the point that Alistair was making about, yes, your little island would not be able to survive without federal assistance.
Can you be done? Okay, now you're done. Okay, let me go now. The point you're making is that the net takers from the federal government are red states. Make that make sense. If you have such brilliant economic.
Oh, here we go again.
So hold on. If you look at the net taker.
It's the red states and it's the gasoline tax. Okay, 2 more complaints. Thank you, ML, for your submission. Wow. Incredible.
So, the point being is that, yes, I'm from everything else. I don't live there currently, but I am going to retire back there. I go there often because this is home.
Not if I get elected. I'll make sure you can never go back. We'll send you back to West Africa. And we will strip you of your pension. We'll make sure you never collect another federal dollar the rest of your life, ML. You go back to politically correct and go join your socialist, communist infiltrators. Go ahead, ML.
I have to send you back to Europe.
Send it back to your southern sister.
I can't go back to Europe because I'm indigenous. And I can tell by your accent you're not a native English speaker, ML. So take your lies and shove them up your ass, and maybe Lindsey Graham will come and felch them out your butthole. Oh, thank God El Normo's here. He can maybe talk some sense into you, ML, because you are so brainwashed, so brain rotted out. I fear that our government giving you even one more pension dollar. I know you got an ex-wife and she cleaned you out. That's the greatest justice. That's what I know, and that's what I like to see, is that when big mouth, big brain, stupid lying communist socialists and progressive faggots like yourself get cleaned out by their ex-wives, that's what really gives me joy in my heart. When I know that your retirement's fucked because your ex-wife got you by your balls. That's real justice, ML. That's real fucking justice. Your ex-wife has your balls in her mouth. Taking your pension, taking your income. Bitch, your wife owns your ass, and that gives me joy.
Maybe that's just shit. My ex-wife don't get a dime from my pension because she makes enough money.
So really easy. Hold on, Scar. Hold on. Really easy to look up. So tourism only amounts for about 30% of the U.S. Virgin Islands GDP. Now, depending on certain years, when more federal assistance has to be given, at certain times during disasters and stuff like that, federal money is upwards of 40%. For the U.S. Virgin Islands, it makes up, almost a majority of the money that goes to the islands.
Well, your ex-wife didn't get your pension, but she still got you by the balls. And I'm so happy your marriage fell apart because you're such a know-it-all. Your ex-wife eventually got annoyed with you, and she said, fuck it, it's not worth it. From my birth to my death, I don't want to live with this fucking know-it-all socialist communist parasite.
Hey, listen, do you have a woman?
Oh, I got a lot of women, baby, and they ain't got me by the balls like your ex-wife got you by the balls. So you gotta come in these good rooms and waste people's time. I think you trying to get laid, actually, at the end of the day. You go into politically correct, you think because Patty or First Lady gonna give up that fat ass to you. Oh, I don't think I'm funny. I know I'm funny, and I'm glad your ex-wife ruined your fucking retirement, bitch.
Was there something fun and stuff? I know that you requested to speak, so go ahead.
How are you doing?
Well, this is the President Trump discussion. Thanks everybody for coming. We're talking about Donald Trump, the greatest president who's ever lived in America. He's doing incredible things domestically. He's terraforming America, terraforming the world of all the criminals, all the terrorists, all the blackmailers, the schemers, the scammers from the past 60 years. He's rectifying history, and many people just don't like history rectified. I, for one, support Donald Trump wholeheartedly. I voted for him 3 times. God bless America. Hope every American here has the greatest weekend of their life. And on Monday, we will continue the greatest deportation operation the government of America has ever conducted. Again, it's Operation Deportation, Program Project Deportation. I am complete. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the discussion.
Since we're talking about statistics from the U.S. Virgin Islands, the largest employer of people that work in the U.S. Virgin Islands is the federal government. Near 30% on some years, the federal government is the largest employer for people that work there.
That makes sense. Well, why? Like, seriously.
We support a lot of these island territories and island
No, because
states.
guess what? You don't realize that in the Virgin Islands, you have, as a territory, the police force and mostly U.S. Marshals. You have the Coast Guard. Then you have the, then you have the military bases.
This strengthens my point that the U.S. Virgin Islands, the point
The
was...
federal government is the biggest employing majority states, and then if not for them, it's Walmart.
Not the majority of states. No, that's not true. These are particular to our island territories and our island states, like Hawaii.
So glad you ex-wife.
The point was they would not be able to survive economically without the federal government's assistance. Because they can't even afford. They don't have enough of their own economy to afford even having their own police force.
You don't understand the territory.
Let me hear when Joe and ML Daiso goes on. I want to know you have something about I learned today. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll let you have the last word. Go ahead and argue why U.S. Virgin Islands is such a net benefit for America.
You're just me, man. Come on now.
That's what you're going to leave it on?
I know.
We say we have some amazing beaches to come and visit in
Come
America.
on. I don't want y'all to visit. I don't want when I'm relaxing. I don't want when I'm relaxing on the beach to run into an idiot like you guys. It will disrupt my paradise.
You can use that opportunity to really sell us on. And look, it is beautiful.
But we don't want people from the mainland moving down there.
They clearly want our money.
The sun glare. The sun glare on our bodies.
There's no industry there. I mean, maybe some industry.
Listen, I'm from the island of St. Croix, and we have like the 3rd or 4th largest oil refinery in the world, and for like 4 decades we have the biggest oil refinery in the world. And we also have an aluminum plant, McMurray aluminum plant. What else? Because St. Croix doesn't have tourism. Only the tourism doesn't have tourism. Tourism is mostly St. Thomas and St. George. If you guys really understand what happens in the territory.
Share with us. That's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's a net positive, having an oil refinery there.
And we have one of the biggest oil depots, when you talk about the petroleum reserve and all the oil we store, we have one of the biggest ones now. Because all the oil that comes to America, they have to some place to park it, they can't refine it, and they park it in St. Croix. What else?
Yeah, it's just a small blip on what Refinery Row in Louisiana and the east side of Texas does. Because that's where the largest oil production comes
Yes,
from.
but we have the largest oil refinery in the world for 4 decades.
Largest on what measure? Like
So largest the amount of burners, the amount of processing power, production. Yeah. We produce majority of America's jet fuel for 4 decades.
jet fuel, very specific. Okay.
Because
I don't know that.
yes, for jet fuel, we produce majority of America's jet fuel.
Okay. Well, good. That's good stuff.
And gasoline was the cheapest, has always been cheapest in the Virgin Islands.
Usually where it gets produced, it is in Louisiana as well. It's one of the cheapest locations to buy because it's the transport cost, right?
Yes.
So, okay, there's some benefit. And now, what do y'all have to pay in excess excise tax for when you do imports?
We don't pay any. You see, the only rule is that America established a law that if you're gonna ship between two American states, like you have to use an American flag ship. So basically, we pay more to transport goods from America mainland to Vietnam because we have to use an American flag carrier, which charges higher rates than say we would get the goods here from China or not.
Tell me this: what's the benefits tax-wise? Y'all don't have to pay the same federal tax rates we do here in mainland.
It's the same.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
No, see, I figured it was like Puerto Rico. There's some benefits to live in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, there's You don't fucking live in it, but he's talking to me. Dog, go ahead, because you're from the Virgin Islands.
He's a moderator. No, he's a moderator.
Get the fuck up, dog. I said go.
Okay. Joe is correct. Very few people in the room know this. There's a tax break. If I bring my business to Puerto Rico, my taxes go all the way to 4%. You bring a new business to Puerto Rico, especially a professional services business, your federal taxes go to zero, your state taxes go to zero, your local taxes go to zero. You negotiate 4% income tax. It's the best tax break available to an American citizen. So it's perfectly correct when Joe says he's suspicious that there are some tax benefits to an American moving to the Virgin Islands. I'm done speaking. Joe, if you disagree, let me know.
It's really easy for me to be right back.
We're talking about originality. Bring a lot of
Are you there? Hey, I owe you an apology. I was doing stuff around the house. I didn't see you come in. I would have loved to have your take on the Heritage Foundation documentary. I was so excited when I discovered it yesterday, and then it's free this weekend, so I rushed to do a replay on it this morning. It's the story of Matt Momeyer. I had no idea. And apparently he wrote the book 44 or 5 years ago. Did you know about him again before I knew about
Yeah,
him?
it's an excellent documentary. Everyone, no matter what your culture are, when you watch the documentary, it's a real.
So let me see, I was posting it in the Telegram, and you don't want to advertise for the Divided Thought Telegram duties because why? I didn't know what well, so the pros are we have more people in there to discuss ideas. The cons are the trolls will get in, and you're very protective of your property. So I'm just like, you're the landlord, I'm the manager of the property, so how are you, like you own it? So if you think about it, you can let me know. When you start letting me know, I can start advertising. If you have over 100 members in there, but like I said, you prefer quality over quantity, so whatever you want.
Thanks for that update. Moderators, put me back in the queue. This is Allison. Thank you.
Okay, so,
We can circle back on it, but I mean, my thoughts are like you can advertise for it, and if any of them, are horrific, which, yeah, they're good.
yeah. So it already has the Heritage Foundation in the documentary. Hey, hold on. Elon Musk tweeted about it. His post about it has 15 million impressions. Let me see what the Heritage Foundation post has 16 million views. And I guess that John Kitover has an agenda and he wants the mic right now.
Oh, Monica, agenda. I just wanted to share a few thoughts. You don't have to say I have an agenda, Monica, but thanks for mentioning my name.
And on my topic of the critical race theory in our military, that's corrosive and divisive and racist, I would love to have that conversation with people. A pastor who is segregating black
Okay, so I'll respond succinctly. Anyone that understands the actions of America's enemies know that America's enemies want nothing more than to have us divided by race. And China and Iran, if you actually if you just go watch the TikToks that China and Iran are giving to our youth, China and Iran are teaching our youth to hate their fellow Americans who are of different races. And so when the U.S. military, and we have a military man here who can speak, when the U.S. military teaches American patriots of one race to hate American patriots of another race, they are serving America's enemies. So shame on everyone that did that. I'm done speaking.
I see the room. We're going in a new thread. I just want to finish up the U.S. Virgin Islands tax benefits that they do get, and then we go down a new thread. Look, it does. U.S. Virgin Islands do have generally a similar tax break as Puerto Rico does. However, they have one thing that's different, which they are very restricted mainlanders even to U.S. Virgin Islands to make a business. They can get tax breaks up to 90%. They can lower their personal tax rate down in some industries down to between 2 and 4% in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So ML is not being truthful when he says it's exactly the same. It's not. Yeah, it's not the same. They actually are. They're not working with the same laws and rules at the federal government, tax rules that the rest of us mainland Americans are. And on top of that, they're very restrictive of us moving there to take advantage of their Yeah, clearly. So you get the U.S. Virgin Islands gets to suck money out of America and play by different rules. But they don't have to allow that, and they can restrict Americans from moving there as well to try and to access those extra benefits.
You know, not only are you correct, but you're forgetting one thing. No, let me say this very quickly, Joe, and then
because you're full of good
No, ML. The other thing that you are dishonest about, ML, is the murder rate in the Virgin Islands. I just looked it up, and the murder rate on the Virgin Islands is more than 10 times as high as it's in the U.S. So you should be proud to be an American, but don't you dare be proud to be from that murderous place. I'm speaking about.
So listen,
Damn, bro.
so Joe, there is what you call, if you look at the mirror law, where we don't charge your rent. Yeah, that's what I looked up. Yes.
Why did you withhold that information when I first brought it up? Go ahead.
Because you just pay, you don't pay state taxes. That's about the only thing because what state you come from. But if you're a state.
Actually, it's the opposite. The federal taxes you pay go directly to what y'all do pay goes to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes. That's the mirror system, but it's identical. But it's identical to the federal tax.
But it doesn't go to the federal government. It doesn't go to the general fund. Y'all suck money. The U.S. Virgin Islands sucks money out of the federal government. However, they don't see it. Yeah.
You know what's amazing? That's essentially ML's philosophy on life, and he's self-interested. I'd like to be put back in the queue. This is Alistair.
Let's hear it, Alistair. Follow up.
So I created a new house. It's called the Progressive Movement, and it's my opinion that it's just a tax scam because I'm witnessing it real time here live with our mayor in Chicago, who's going on television in a presser and saying we need to tax the racist white people a black tax for reparations. That tipping is connected to slavery when he doesn't even know that it's an acronym, which means to improve performance and service. You should be tipped if you got a great attitude and your customers like you. I recently got a phone call from a banker and he was screaming at me in the voicemail. And I've also come to the conclusion that I might be one of the most annoying people who have ever lived. And I hope one day to have patriotic children who will also become one of the most annoying people who have ever lived, because we need annoying people to question authority, think for ourselves, and stop letting people like ML fill your ears with his waste of time lies. These are all progressive movement lies. The progressive movement doesn't deal with our national deficit. The progressive movement doesn't deal with the fact that we're spending $7 trillion a year, collecting $5 trillion, and we have a 40 trillion mortgage with a $100 billion a month mortgage payment. I'm looking at this from a pragmatic American, patriotic, financial accountant, perspective, which is really, we need to talk about the books. Too many people want to talk about political identity politics and all this bullshit. It's a waste of time. Let's talk about the books, baby. The books is the truth, the math, as they like to say. And the truth is that at your birth and at your death, you'll question whether Clubhouse was worth it. To listen, to waste your time listening to guys like ML. I rest my case. I am complete.
Look, I gotta follow up. It's not surprising that ML is as progressive as he is. I mean, the U.S. Virgin Islands did not even become a territory until the famous, most progressive president we've ever had, Woodrow Wilson, accepted them into the Union. And now we find out how much of a tax burden they are on our country, how much benefits they actually they get from being part of our country, where they don't pay into the general fund. However, they extract money out of the general fund. It makes sense where ML is coming from now. ML, do U.S. Virgin Island residents do they have a Woodrow Wilson Day for accepting y'all into the Union?
He's our favorite president.
He's his favorite president, exactly.
No, we don't have a progressivism.
Father of progressivism.
He was joking.
Yeah, he's not joking. I mean, it might be tongue in cheek, but it takes a lot of sense why ML is so progressive, because he needs Daddy Washington to support him.
I don't know the Republicans. What do they have a role in this? If they're so mighty and high,
Trying to change the conversation, Spartan. We're clearly discussing U.S. Virgin Island politics right now. ML made a big point about
Because
it.
Joe was kind enough to say that I wasn't a heritage American.
I still hold to that. You're not. You're like an adopted cousin in our family, and that's okay. You're part of our family. The spirit of you're an American, but you don't share the same interests as I do. And there's a lot of reasons why you don't share the same interests. I mean, being raised in an island state or an island territory that extracts money that hard working Americans pay into that we don't get to benefit from. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when the most progressive president in the history of America is the one that actually adopted y'all into the Union. And look, I get it. If I was to sell it, when I asked you the question about sell it to us, and she was good at economics, the reason what you should say is, look, it's a great strategic defensive position for America to hold that spot in that location, because it allows us to defend the rest of America.
Look, we don't want the movie now. We don't want the movie now, especially going here.
Your tax situation wasn't allowed. But you'll take my money.
Just let me corrupt me out with the pie.
Yeah, give it time.
I don't need my conversation without it here. I just didn't figure out what it was right now. It's very difficult to say it's on an area. I know.
the Heritage Foundation.
Monica, I am also a fan of the Heritage Foundation, and that's where I learned about Thomas Massey before he became a congressman. And Thomas Massey is an excellent lecture about how corrupt and fiscally irresponsible the U.S. government is, and how they're completely infiltrated by special interest lobbyists, and also all the law breaking they do. And Thomas Massey is probably the only patriot we have. He's busy growing peaches on a self-sustainable farm at a house that he built by himself because he's an MIT graduate and a goddamn genius. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi's going around and just fucking ruining everything. I am complete. Thanks for letting me interrupt you, Monica. Sorry for imitating you, by the way, but I hope everybody gets a little comical relief and doesn't take things so seriously here on Clubhouse. And we can't wait to watch the documentary, and then we can discuss it, and then we can also maybe watch A Room with Jordan Peterson. Do you think we could listen to a Jordan Peterson film soon? I heard Jordan. Oh, she got a phone call.
Who's Jordan Peterson?
He's just the greatest philosopher that Canada has ever produced.
Hello?
The greatest, I wouldn't say the greatest, I don't know.
We're talking about Canada here.
People.
Everybody is greatest, so that Trump's the greatest. Every video person that runs a business circle is the greatest. I don't understand that the logic of that.
I don't trust any of the government, anybody in the government. And also,
Are you enjoying the show, Matt?
Republicans suck, everybody sucks.
Well, there you go.
No, this is live. I was just imitating Monica in the big room. What are you doing? Hello?
So you went into a live room and you were doing that?
Yeah, I'm still in the room. I'm on the stage on another account.
I see.
You know, they just opened up a big magic restaurant in Chicago downtown. If you want to go have dinner there, it's like $400.
Dude, that's like a drop in. That's so cheap.
It's an experience. It's like a 3-hour experience or something. And you go to all these different rooms. It's a mansion called the McCormick Mansion. And some wealthy, magician and former tech executive. I don't know who he is exactly, but looks pretty dope. People like magic, and I can tell by your PTR, you have power.
Magic isn't real.
It's basically, I think it's like a way to use your brain, prior to obviously computers and all that, but through literature or hieroglyphics, it's basically a way for people to do memory, information storage, and communication transfer. Prior to the advent of actual computer technology and storage. That's what, to me, when I look at it, if I look at an ancient hieroglyphic from 2,000 years ago, and then we were,
Oh, I know what you mean.
yeah, if we
Yeah,
were,
I agree with that.
yeah, it's basically just information technology.
Yeah.
I used to work with this IT professional, in a business unit, and we were talking about IT, and then I was like thinking about intelligence, and I'm like, it's not really information technology. I'm like, it's intelligence technology.
That's valid. Yeah, that is the origin of all of our progress, isn't it? Somebody figured out how to store intelligence in some form.
So the question ultimately becomes, what's the best form of intelligence? Because if everything is basically an aesthetic of index, a bell-shaped curve of subject or object, if we look at intelligence and we look at it from the perspective of, let's say, brain science, we can start making hypotheses and experiments of what the topic is, which is intelligence.
Well, it is kind of evident that based on evolution, humans are optimized for intelligence. Right? That was the determining factor that allowed us to branch off of every other organism that we've ever seen. So
Yeah. Well, in what ways do you think you've been optimized for intelligence, or in what ways do you think you have personally optimized yourself, for intelligence?
I have a statistical. I have a statistical edge in that I'm pretty good at quantifying variables, large amounts of variables, to predict futures. I thought that was a pretty common thing that audiobooks can do until I started interacting with other people, and I realized that most people just work with what they got. But I am able to
go beyond what's given and come up with my own variables, make sense of them. You get me?
Yeah. What's interesting is intuition can process a tremendous amount of variables. And so, like, from like a trading perspective,
That's true.
yeah, in Wall Street and the stock market, you can make very you can make intuitive decisions based off of like relative variables, so just like company A versus company B, and then the environment. So there's just like a way to compress so many variables in your observation that, like, even if you were to use like AI and software and huge data sets, it still might not give you the actual, it might give you the wrong answer. So that's why, as the primary user of the experience, your intuition is like a supercomputer, a quant, mathematical quant. I mean, you're basically, your super advanced AI, your 65 billion years of optimization. Hello?
I'm here.
So one thing that I like to do when I'm interviewed is to tell the camera or the possible listeners to take the deepest breath of the day. What do you think that means?
Deepest breath.
Yeah, take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds. 10, not 11. 10, not 9.
Isn't that a way to reset your limbic system?
Limbic system? What's the best pickup line you have at the bar, Matt?
Let me think. Let me get your opinion on something.
Yeah, okay. But how would you actually do it? Say there's a beautiful woman at the bar, you walk in, she looks at you, and you have to come up to her and hypnotize her. What would you say to her to immediately hypnotize her?
I'd say just that. I'd say, but before I even hit her with that line, I'd say something like, yeah, I gotta go in a minute, but before I do, let me get your opinion on something. Bam, hypnotized.
That is actually a very low quality suggestion. So hypnosis is just a series of suggestions, like Pavlovian suggestion.
That was a series of suggestions.
It's not.
It went completely undetected in your system.
No. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that your side B of the CD, the side AC, the side of the ACD, or the other side of that is, let me tell you. So if you walk up to her, you say, this is my opinion. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Because now you've like triggered like oh my God, what's this guy gonna ask me? Then the second suggestion would be, do you believe in hypnosis? And then she'll like maybe blush or look away or look you directly in the eyes. Maybe she'll be smart and funny and give you an interesting response. But then you follow up with, because you are hypnotizing me, you are so beautiful and mesmerizing. That's like a nice compliment. And it's a funny thing because, basically a woman is hypnosis. The curves, the movement, the eyelashes, the perfume, the makeup, the painting. They're art. Every woman is basically a magnificent piece of art. And yeah, so.
The later half of your line is pretty strong, but the early half, I think that will get you turned off before you can deliver your real payload.
By saying, excuse me, can I ask you a question?
And then, do you believe in hypnosis? Yeah.
So do you think you should just come in close and say, excuse me, do you believe in hypnosis? Just get right to the point.
No, that would get you ignored as well.
Oh, so how would you present it? The way that you said it?
Yeah, I would combine mine with yours. I would combine my first part with your second part.
So wait, what is that? How does that go?
Yeah, I gotta go in a second. Before I do, can I get your opinion on something? Do you believe in hypnosis? Because you're hypnotizing me. Something like that. Or because, yeah.
Okay, let me try it. Excuse me, I gotta go. I only have a second, but can I ask you a question? Do you believe in hypnosis? Because you're hypnotizing me.
Right. Well, you gotta give them a chance to press what you're saying, right? If you just deliver it all like that. But the point is, if you meet a random girl or a random stranger and you tell them that you're gonna leave in a little bit, that will make them more receptive to what you're gonna say next.
But what is the point of telling them that you're gonna leave in a little bit? See, that's why I go back to the question of intelligence, because
That's critical. That's the most critical part. In the setting that you're describing, women are approached by a series of dudes.
But
and so by telling them that you're going to leave in a little bit, that lets them know that if you turn out to be a creep, you're going to be gone anyways.
No.
So,
We're not trying to create a safe space. See, in my opinion,
I know we're not. However, that's how women process information. Women are constantly analyzing who's safe, who's not. And so by interjecting that you're going to leave in a second, that bypasses that defense mechanism.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, I'll take you. So have you tried this in the real world? Because I'm going to try it tonight.
Oh, yeah, I've tried that so many times.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And it works for you.
Like a charm.
Okay. So what other suggestions do you have?
When I was in my early 20s, I studied pickup artistry.
And what's the compression? What did you learn? How did you implement it?
I remember bits and pieces now. I mean, I'd have to recall my library. Let me think. Can you ask me a question and then let me see what it'll trigger?
Peacocking and picking up through peacocking.
Right. So peacocking is a good one. But the purpose of peacocking, do you know what that is?
I think it's super stimulus. You're trying to like stand out in like a weird way intentionally to make the subject a question. Like you're trying to like enhance your attractability by creating attention communication.
Yeah, that's fair. You're trying to stand out apart from the average Joe by doing one thing that's eccentric. It's not about going crazy. It's just about having something that sets you apart from everyone else. And that could be, one item. It doesn't have to be a whole outfit. It could be like one funny hat, or maybe even like a shiny belt or a badge on your chest. It could be anything. It could be a bow tie. Though, even a bow tie, you can pull that off. But yeah, that's what peacocking really is about. So you go to the bar with this one thing and you put it somewhere visible. It'll set you apart. And then, I remember my favorite thing that I learned. There were five. There were five primal attraction triggers. And if you hit any one of them, you will create attraction. The most basic one, everyone knows this one, is displaying that you have the potential to be an alpha. Just the alpha being like a leader, right? If you can display that you have the quality of a leader, and you can hit this trigger in so many different ways. So it's like when you meet the girl, when you hit them with that pickup line, and then you're delivering the hypnosis line. That interaction is your opportunity to deliver one of these five triggers, or as many of them as you can reasonably compress into like one interaction. And then as you deliver them, you'll see in her body language the effect you're having. Oh, here's actually another one that's really good. So communication is 80% nonverbal. So while you're talking, how you move your body and how she moves your body is like under extreme scrutiny. Right? So when you walk up to her and you say, I have to go in a second, but before I do, get your opinion on something. You want to stand up straight. You don't want to be fully facing her because that's too much. It's too much energy being poured in. You want to be facing a little bit to the side. Your face is turned towards her at like a 70-degree angle. And as you talk to her, you want to casually look around. Right? It's like there's so many things that add up into like one strong opener. And then if she's with a friend, if there's a cute girl you want to talk to, but she's with a friend, who do you talk to first, the friend or the cute girl?
This is like the worst seminar, but you know, it's got whatever.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, I have sometimes I put people to sleep. I have that monotone voice.
Well, I appreciate the things you said. You know, I saw a picture of Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump. He like was doing a downward pointing triangle with his hands, like, and taking a deep breath. And then his wife was like, "Stop doing that." And so I think it's like a sigil, but then somebody pointed out that that's like a common practice, you know, to like do like people that do, I guess, theater. So how do you view life in terms of like a performative perspective? How much of your success in life do you contribute to intuition, to education, or to performative, you know, disposition?
A large chunk of it, I'd say. A very large chunk of it. It is all performative. When we meet people, we perform our little song and dance, and if we do a good job, they'll like us. And you're enriched by their presence in your life. Isn't that how it goes? You could have the most amazing product that you invented, but if you can't present it in a way that people understand and like, nobody's gonna buy your shit, even though it would make their life better. They won't care. They don't want that from you. They want that from someone who makes them feel good, even if it's lesser quality. Unless they're very intelligent and they can overcome your ability to be entertaining. They can entertain themselves and they don't care. I think we're very gays to overcome the need to have a dance with you. So if we use the connection, you know what I mean? Regrets. We got it all within us. I'm running out of space. Thank you. Universe and I will work for you. We're discussing social dynamics. We know we're out of great attraction. Talking about first impressions, not all your first impressions. First, I assume when you're muted here, you're talking to
No, I'm just pinned a link to my YouTube live. FYI, I'm YouTube living because I believe that being alive today, the smartest way to be alive today is to be live on YouTube.
DHB.
Oh, our Vedic astrologer decided to leave us. Well, this is the universe. You're in it right now. And this is one of the things that I don't like about communication propaganda is that when we're told that we should have to have homelessness because it's just, mentally ill people with drug habits, but we can't provide housing from the elements to people that are dying in the streets. But yet we can actually shoot videos of robotic technology in outer space and put them on YouTube. I just got to say, there is no political will to do it because people are just too fucking greedy. And so when Elon Musk owns the platform and he pushes the narrative with his propaganda, and so much of it is just to support SpaceX and Tesla and his narrative for those corporations. To me, it's just. We got a bull rush happening here. Dennis, can you tell us how you're feeling right now?
Feeling like a raging bull.
You feel like a raging bull. What does it feel like? What does a raging bull do? Uh-oh. Dennis had to go run off. Must have seen a mating partner. And so what I'm trying to say is, Matt, have you ever played darts?
Yeah.
So when you throw that dart and you hit a bull's eye, that gives you an X. It was interesting, you were talking about alpha. If you have to demonstrate an alpha principle to the subject. If you look into astrology, I actually have a telescope. And this morning I was looking through the instruction manual on astrology. Anyways, fascinating topic because the metaphors and the analogies through actual astrology, not just the spiritual astrology, but it's all right there in the cosmos. If you want to become the most astute, magnetizing person, your communication should be astrological. And so my approach with the subject is always to break the physical barrier as soon as possible. And the best way to do that is to say, excuse me, can I see your right hand? I want to read your palm. And then you just give them a hand massage. And then you hypnotize them with poetry. And then they melt in your mouth like butter. And then you mix it into a Belgian waffle. And you put some Canadian syrup and almonds and Nutella. And you throw yourself a little Belgian waffle cake party. If you have candles, put some candles in your birthday cake. Hello?
Actually, I would incorporate that right into my playbook as well, right? If you can build enough comfort to where if you ask, let me see your hand, then they'll actually let you. So I could let me read your palm. Yeah, that will. What's the term? That will bear. There's a time for that when you introduce esotericism into an interaction. It melts away.
Introduction of esotericism and exotericism.
Fantasy. But if you can keep that coherent, the way that you described, yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, that's a strong move. You come up with that on your own?
No, but a girl gave me a hand massage at a bus stop that I was at the beach with, and I got so turned on. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea that like a hand massage can like turn somebody into like a sexual, dynamite. So,
yeah. physical touch won't do that.
One time I was at the bar and I said, "Excuse me, can I read your palm and show you a magic experiment?" And then I took a lime and I squeezed the lime in her palm and I gave her a hand massage, and she was at my hip the whole night, and she was so hot. And it was that lime juice hand massage magic trick that just made her wet. Hello. Okay, I'm still in the President Trump room, and Monica is speaking. I have the volume turned down. I'm still on the stage, but let me post a link to my YouTube live in that room as well. I like bridging platforms through links. So, Matt, how important do you think breathing is in terms of magic?
Hey, I'll see you later. Yeah. Until Bill Clinton did it, I think it was like 1993 or something else like that. Because the US
Mom, can you tell Archek to shut the fuck up?
It happened in Australia. There was actually a big fight in Brisbane.
I'm just kidding around. Archek loves talking. What are you doing, buddy? How are you?
Good, man. What's going on?
I'm sitting here having a great afternoon in the Universe Magic Mat room.
Oh, nice, nice. Brad's upset with me.
Why?
He's really mad, because he threatened my family, so now I have more information on him than he has on me. So
Oh, shit.
I'm not gonna do anything to him, good. But he's fucking, unless he comes, threatens my family like that.
Why would you ever attack a berserker Viking? You know how dangerous that is?
Yeah. I'm not concerned about a mentally ill 52-year-old man.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to go around picking fights your whole life. It's a waste of your fucking time.
Well, I don't try to, dude. Listen, if Brad is in the room and I'm in there, he has to stop the room to attack me. And I'm not just going to sit there and take it, so.
Well, I don't know. It's life is a roast on here, so like if you can be funny, and but not be, actually where people think. See, like if I make fun of somebody, I want to make fun of them, but I don't want to get into a verbal death match fight. Like that to me is nuts.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to make fun of people,
Right.
You should try the same thing, but
I'm gonna try. Sometimes I like serious conversations.
If someone is making death threats, though, just say, I'm recording this and I'm reporting it to the FBI. Don't actually respond ever with physical threats of violence. And the other thing is, if you're actually an intelligent person, you would never, ever make threats online verbally. And you would never, ever actually attack somebody in the real world. You would assassinate them from 2 miles away. Hello?
Yeah, no. Just fucking last year, bro, he pissed me off. He fucking found out I had a 7-year-old kid and was like talking about raping her. And just like, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's so psychotic. But again, that's like, you're a real person and he's a real person. And so the problem.
I don't think you would literally do that shit, but I try not to respond to that, but that was just too much, bro.
I know, but the problem with response is it creates a cycle, a never-ending death spiral. And so
I should have just well, I even told him yesterday I should have just reported him right when he said it.
Yeah, that's how when he started attacking me in my congressional run, and then he was making death threats to people. Well, what am I going to do? Not report him? Like, okay, great. I can't wait to report you now. Like, I got no problem trying to tag him with the local police and the FBI. Come at me and just know that I'm totally 100% transparent. Everything is recorded. My whole life is recorded. So you can judge me by what I say, but everyone else can judge you by what you say. Hello?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. No shit. So, I don't know. Like I said, I hate talking to that guy because that shit goes down, but he literally started talking. I don't know how he found out, but he found out that we, my family has a couple of grocery stores, and he found that out. And so he's literally was like, he's multiple times mentioned our grocery stores, then my family and stuff, and my sister, my daughter, my grandfather, my grandma, like literally yesterday was talking about beating my grandfather to death. Like, what, dude? Like, and then he runs and begs for sympathy. It's just okay.
Well, see, this is where you create a room and you call it, I'm reporting Brad to the FBI. And then you actually post a link to X where you have tagged the FBI with a video of Brad saying these things, and you stop wasting your time and your emotional intelligence. If you want to get ahead of the emotional intelligence curve, you have to use surveillance capital, and you have to report bad actors. And then they literally disappear, and they conceal themselves, but we know who they are. And when they want to say things like that, you don't respond, you just record and report and move on. And you know what that's like, Mountain? That's like taking mail and all the paperwork sitting on your desk and processing it and filing it and then closing it and walking away from it. And it's not a part of your life anymore. You don't carry it with you. You've processed it. Did I make sense? Hello?
Yeah, dude. And speaking of that, like some good dude activities, I'm going to build a small drift boat this winter or this summertime. Just weld it together, a plastic welder or something.
Plastic welding. He melts plastic together.
6-footer. And then jump on the fucking river and head down, man.
Damn. River hopper. River skipper.
Building a boat.
Building a boat.
What do you think?
Selling a boat. Driving a boat. Sailing a boat. Well, I'm a former boat owner, and the 2 greatest days of owning a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. And that's 100% true every single time.
Here's the thing, though. These are boats without engines. Like an engine, yes. I've had a couple of those, and dude, it's a nightmare. They don't want to work when you want them to. That's always been my experience. But like something that you can paddle. It's pretty fun, right?
I think the metaphor of, the day you buy, the day you sell is the same thing with a woman. I've experienced that as well.
I know. It's amazing, especially when you fall out of love with her. You finally did, and you're like, yes. You know what I mean? Like I knew this. I knew it would come. It was gonna take a while, but finally, I don't fucking love this bitch, and it's amazing. Especially when they keep on trying to contact you. You're like, adios. It's pretty good. That's a good feeling.
Well, the now is always more important than anything else because the now is actually all there is. The thing about our brains is our memories are so powerful and our projections are so powerful that we forget that the now is actually all there ever really is. So, talking about, building about, talking about, sailing about, talking about crushed hearts and despair and broken hearts. Either you're breaking a heart or you're heartbroken. That's the way I see life.
Not right now, dude. Right now, I'm on 3 years since my last relationship where I was in love, and dude, I don't think because I know she's worked she's worked with a person now.
This is how you get the ability to stab them in the back and trying to open his arms and bring them back in. He never pushes people in media. He'll also be the first one when they start using politics is. He'll bring Carlson back into the office like he had Joe Rogan at the White House today. It was just a couple weeks ago. Joe Rogan had Leo Gahn on.
I didn't realize I was
Theo Gahn on, and they were cracking jokes negatively about Donald Trump. So it's something. There is a public face of these people and a private.
I would just really again encourage you never, ever, ever, ever say any physical violence or death threats. And don't ever do it on the internet. You will be recorded. You're 100% recorded. 100% recorded every single time. And that goes for Brad too. And when he said, when I was witnessing and observing and receiving his anger and hate and extreme rhetoric.
You too, right?
I don't know, but see, that's where I don't care because I just record and I file and I let it go. I got a picture of the Buddha above my toilet that I painted. It's a beautiful painting. I spent a lot of time and I spent money framing it. And I got a really nice frame. And guess what it says underneath the Buddha? Let it go. And if you think about successful people, you know what they're actually successful at?
Letting shit go.
Yes, and letting it go with swiftness. That's why these Swifties are so hot, because they're so swifty. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's magic. Swiftness is magic, but it deals with your thoughts, and that's why again I'm telling you, you're gonna get baited. Do not do it, my friend. Get a burner phone and just record it, but don't participate in the emotional exchange. It's not good for you.
I appreciate it. No, I agree. It doesn't feel good. I was even saying to myself how bad it feels. I'll literally leave this app if that's what it means. But it's addictive, dude. I'm like dopamine addicted, dude. It sucks. Because I know this app is not good for me, and I'm dopamine addicted though. But dude, I just want to come on here and have some debates. But I just feel like, when I was a kid, those times when you never defended yourself, you ever been there? You had somebody as a kid do something to you, and you were too afraid to do something because you were a kid, and and then you go on feeling. That's happened to me a couple of times where I was too afraid to defend myself, and so I went away. Not only did that guy win, I guess emotionally because he was able to punk me out because I didn't defend myself. But I also went away feeling inadequate. God, and I vowed to myself, and it caused me issues because you got to pick, because I've learned, it's hard to not pick your battles when you're like, you feel like you got to fight every one of them. But ever since then, I vowed I'll never fucking not defend myself, and so, yeah, so I've had to physically defend myself. Like, I'll never allow that stuff. But even on the internet, dude, if someone matches energy with me, I feel like I have to match their energy. And I hate it. It hurts, dude, because I'm not that type of person. Like, when Brad comes on here talking about raping my family and killing me and calling me retarded and incest and screaming. He wants to win a screaming match. He's 52 years old. And his idea of winning is who could scream the loudest. This dude's like mentally ill, obviously. He gets off on this shit, bro. And I always like know that, but I stoop to his level, and then I go worse than him. Like I fucking, threaten to kill him too and shit, and get evil about it, dude. I hate it. It hurts, dude. It hurts me in my core. So like, I fucking hate talking to that son of a bitch because I'm not strong enough as a person not to stoop to that level when he comes at me that way. You know what I'm saying, John? I'm just not strong enough, dude. I'm working on it. But yeah, it's weird. It sucks, man.
See, part of magic is rooting out dark character traits. And unfortunately, I hate to break the bad news to you, Dr. Mountain, but you still have not yet read the Emerald Tablets. Because when you realize, have you ever seen that movie Roger Rabbit?
No.
Basically, there's Toon World, and there's a cartoon reality, and you're still living in the cartoon reality with Brad. And when you step outside and you realize, oh my God, I'm a man, and Brad is actually a cartoon, you will come to the realization and the enlightenment that you're being fooled. And surveillance capital and getting you to say homicidal things on the internet is actually intentional. And you're being intentionally manipulated. And that's why I say if you take a step back and you try to become a man again, and you realize Brad is a cartoon, like a literal theatrical cartoon, a performer, you will realize you're being manipulated. And that when you film them trying to manipulate you, and you reverse the surveillance capital and put them on YouTube and notify Kash Patel and the Houston Police Department, like I have, you will have filed it, categorized it, and then you will see the Buddha above your toilet as you take your third shit in the morning from the huge, delicious dinner you had the night before of ribs and chicken. You will say, let it go. Let it go. And just put it on YouTube, Mountain. And just let the audience decide and judge people's behaviors and speech. But don't participate because you're being recorded. It's all surveillance capital. This is the new economy. Hello?
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
S is for saving hundreds of living mutual.
For sure.
You can't have this.
What I try to do, literally, I've tried to get banned off this app, because I can't do it myself. I've tried to get banned off this fucker, and they really.
Well, what? Don't you remember what I told you before? Just start reading books, and you agreed with me. You read, and you're like, dude, this is actually making me feel better psychologically. You agreed and confirmed my experiment worked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what the first?
I just wanted to get out and just start building some boats.
No, this is no. You listen. I'm telling you, the more you do, the more you think, the further from the truth you're going to get. If you work on a boat, you're going to lose a huge opportunity cost.
Of what?
Doing nothing.
What? It's getting on the water. It's good for your brain.
You don't understand philosophy, and you've never even read the Dhammapada. You don't read anything. I got to tell you, the fact that you get into emotional arguments with people shows that you're low IQ. It's true.
So funny.
It's true. High IQ people don't get into heated arguments because they actually have knowledge and information that tells them not to do that. And you don't know that. That's because you don't read anything. You're not reading anything. I'm trying to tell you. I'm about to tell you about
What am I supposed to read now, dude?
the Dhammapada by the Buddha. The first chapter talks about how words create our reality. And that's why when you read the book, you felt better. And that's why when you scream at Brad homicidal death threats, you feel like shit.
Yeah, I do.
And a good Christian doesn't do that. A good Christian will just read the scripture and not engage in that communication. You're doing a communication choice.
He's not a Christian. That's why he loves baiting me into that shit.
No, you personally. So who cares about other people?
I know. I'm not. I mean, I know I am. I know I'm not a perfect Christian. I know that.
No, I'm just saying it's a communication technology, and you have to choose higher level communication. You're fucking yourself over, my friend. You're in the long run. You're opportunity costing yourself. Bro. I mean, I would let you go if I was a fisherman and I caught you. I would just toss you right back in. Like, I'm serious. Like you're a manager's worst nightmare.
Why?
Because look, I was going to tell you this story. One time, a senior manager told me, a supervisor, to terminate Tyrone. You know, because Tyrone was just looking at his cell phone, and Tyrone he wasn't practicing any of the proper procedure, none of the safety, and he was causing major problems. And so they told me to terminate Tyrone. And guess what I did for Tyrone? I said, Tyrone, I need to talk to you. Come into the office over here. And I said, they've asked me to terminate you, and these are the reasons why, but I think I can help you save your job. Do you want to save your job? And he's like, yeah, I gotta have this job. So for like an hour, we rehearsed, his apology to the supervisor. And he could repeat the apology word by word perfectly after the hour of, I put him on the stage. I was like, you're going to have to, perform this. So we get to her office, and I say, Michelle, Tyrone here wants to say something to you before he's terminated. I apologize for the intrusion in your office. Tyrone, and she goes, what do you want to say? And he goes, why the fuck you want to fire me, bitch?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Did he really?
You didn't think I felt like an asshole for waiting? I wasted an hour of my time. An hour of my time. Jane, welcome to the room.
Did he really?
And what I'm telling you is don't be. Listen, now that you know me, don't be Tyrone, bro. Jane, welcome.
I'm so funny. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.
Did he tell me the truth? Did he really say that?
I'm telling you the truth. I'm not making that story up. I couldn't believe my ears. Little backstabber. Fucking backstabbed me. Tyrone.
I am not that way, bro. I mean, in real life, holy fuck, that was crazy. Was Tyrone the type that doesn't change his smoke detector batteries?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
John, are you really running for mayor?
Yeah, I'm running as a libertarian, though. I hate the Cook County Republicans, and I got a lot of press because this girl said, before I can go out on a date with you, I need to know your political leanings. And I said, I hate the Cook County Republicans. She says, that's all I needed to know. I'll see you Friday. Back in business, baby!
She could have asked a few additional questions.
John, you were so fucking funny, buddy. That is a funny ass fucking story. Holy shit.
It really happened, and I was just in total shock. I held my head down, and I walked out of the office with him, and I walked him to the front door of the place, and I said, "Trust me, you don't have to worry about this. Great things are coming your way. The next job is going to be better than this. I promise you. When one door closes, another door opens. I know for a fact things are going to be good for you. You don't need this fucking job. God bless you." And he was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
Damn. Well, there we go. Well, there we go. You're lucky you didn't come back and just beat you guys to death with a chair, because I've heard of them doing that. Oh, that's a wild story, man. Yeah. No, I'm not like that. That's crazy. So.
I know, but professionally, personally, legally, using this app or using the internet to make death threats is 100% illegal. You can be arrested if an attorney general, state attorney, city attorney, anybody wants to actually prosecute you, they can. And so if I were to hire an attorney in Houston based off of audio records of Brad making death threats, he could be arrested and charged and even sued. So be an adult, be intelligent, and protect your family's reputation and yours, and do not continue the death spiral nebula of arguing with people on your cell phone. If you're
I to protect myself, I have recorded, because I recorded it. I mean, he threatened to beat my grandfather to death and stuff, threatened to come kill me and shit. The fuck y'all say? Oh yeah, and then this is a crime in Texas. He was telling me to go put a pistol in my mouth and shoot myself. It was a felony in Texas, actually. So, right here. But he's not the first person. He was literally trying. Doc, you know what Doc is, dude?
Yeah.
Doc is vulnerable. Doc's a good dude. You know what I mean? I like Doc a lot. He was trying to tell Doc to go kill himself, dude. Like,
yeah.
That's why that was my biggest issue with Brad in the first place. And that's like a serious thing. And Doc is a veteran. And for Brad to be a veteran, you being a veteran, you guys, I mean, there's a lot of veterans who commit suicide. We have an epidemic of
yeah, I get it, but I know I'm just telling you they're both highly argumentative people. And I'm telling you personally, don't be like them, my friend.
I know.
Don't be like them.
I'm trying to be. I mean, I'm not like that, but I'm trying to talk to Brad. But I have him recorded saying about this shit because I got to protect myself from the guy because he's.
Yeah, that's absolutely. But I would say even post it. Don't be afraid to even just file it and let it go, because if you want to use this app and you're providing people with valuable analysis, you're bringing statistics and figures and data, and that's actually the conversations we need to have. These types of death threat conversations are psychotic. They're neurotic. You could say schizophrenic and crazy and totally illegal, and don't participate in it. You've got to be the solution.
Dude, I try every time if Brad's in the room. I'm like, we're supposed to be on the same side. And I'm like fighting for Mega, and he shits on me, dude. He attacks me. It's just crazy. I'm like, bro, we're on the same side here. And he stops the room. I'm trying to have a real conversation. And he fucking stops. Oh, here comes this idiot, who fucks his sister. It's like, I'm trying to bring value to this fucking app. He has been on this app for so long. Like, he gets mad if other people bring value to the app. He gets mad if he is not the only one. Like, he gatekeeps for the white people. He wants. It's weird. Now he wants the black people to himself. He gets mad if you try to come in any room. He's in there trying to drop out. It's like, bro, we're on the same fucking side. What's your deal?
Okay, so again,
how are we gonna have a strong cause if we're attacking each other?
Again, I'm just trying to give you some personal advice that you need to look at this as a courtroom, okay? And the moderators are the judges. Now, if you're being literally attacked like that, you need to inform the judges that you will be recording. And if they kick you from the room, well, then so be it. But Mountain, I'm telling you, look at this as a courtroom and deal with it that way. Because if you don't, and you come on here and you make any verbal death threats, you can and will be held liable for your words. And that's why I said you need to read more, because when you read the Dhammapada or you read legal code, state law, federal law, you'll realize that you're not in compliance. I am complete. So as you can tell, we are live on YouTube. This is a 3-hour, 45-minute podcast so far. We are also in the President Trump house. And Mountain was bringing up the MAGA, defenders. And personally, we could go back to Brad, and I'll just say that I was shocked when I was attacked by him. But not really in hindsight anymore, because I have filed it and let it go. But he most definitely is like a suburban street mom, Democrat, liberal warrior, protector, knight in shining armor. And that's cool. Let him do his thing. Everybody's entitled to get laid every once in a while. And whatever your strategy is to get laid, if you want to be a woke Democrat, getter, that's cool. That's you. You do your thing, baby. But some of us stick to the philosophy of intelligence and love and law. The law is the big one. If you're in violation of the law by coming on the internet and making hate speech, homicidal, and otherwise threats, you're in violation of what we call Chapter LAW, USC Code 74.0139G5624D, and Illinois or federal or Texas State Code, 42.6505. It's there, Mountain. I've Googled and done the legal research because I have prosecuted legally, and I have notified law enforcement of Brad Stauffenberger. So, in conclusion, once you file your complaint, you are now authorized to let it go.
Let it fucking go. Let that fucking shit go. Yeah.
Okay, so Mountain, I want to share with you one of the most important magical experiments I've ever conducted at a bar with a beautiful woman. Are you ready to receive my $1 million course in getting laid?
Yes.
Okay, before I tell you the magic trick, you have to click the YouTube link above and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the cost of admission to the Magic Palace. Okay, this is step number 1. Okay, this is step number 1. Can you turn your volume down? Okay, this is step number 1. You walk up to a girl and you say to her, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" Repeat step number 1 to me, Dr. Mountain.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Correct. Then you say, "Can I buy you a shot of tequila, vodka, rum, or whiskey?" Repeat step number 2 to me.
Can I buy you a shot, tequila, rum, or whiskey?
Step number 3 is you ask the bartender for a lime. Step number 3.
Can I buy you a shot? Can I get a lime?
Okay, this is step number 4. Then you say, "Give me your right palm." And the girl puts out her palm and you take her hands and you take that lime and you squeeze it in her palm. And then you begin massaging the palm with both of your hands.
Listen, I'm like listening to an overlap review, like delayed 60 You're like delayed like 10 seconds behind. I'm watching your video live stream.
All right, you're creating a loop. You've got to turn the YouTube audio off. Okay, the next step is as you're massaging the lemon juice into her palm, you say, there are 4 lines: the health, your wealth, your love, and your destiny. Which one do you want to know about? Health, wealth, love, or destiny as you're massaging that palm. And then whatever she asks you, just remember that anything you tell her is a hypnosis. If she wants to know about love, tell her about her wealth. Tell her about her destiny. If she wants to know about her destiny, tell her about love. Tell her about wealth. Tell her about health. So whatever you say is your hypnosis there. But the key is you have now broken the barrier with the juices of the earth. And as you massage that palm, the brain begins producing a sexual oxytocin waterfall. And now this is when you go full MAGA and you grab her by the pussy.
Maybe you might get me arrested.
Get me arrested. Getting kind of hungry. So, Mountain Man, what do you think about my theory of you just recording, posting, doxing, legalizing, letting go? Because if you don't do that, in my opinion, you're just going to repeat yourself like a broken record. Don't be Tyrone now. Don't be Tyrone now.
I really don't like I said, I don't stoop to this level. I mean, ever usually. I don't know what's right. Because he's able to trigger me by mentioning my assistant or mentioning my doctor. So, like, I shouldn't even be, covering that. It's just, he's the only one. He's the only one I know of, dude, that consistently mentions my family, mentions my family, mentions anything. Like I said, when he mentions anything right off, that was the final straw. That's why.
Got it, Mountain. But what do you got to try to remember the things that I'm telling you, which is make the clubhouse room into a courtroom. appeal to the moderators as if they're the
I
judges
tried.
and
I tried.
inform. But the
I
thing is,
tried.
you have to keep it. You have to keep it legal, and by the law, you've got to try to be an attorney about this.
No, I know, man, but you know what happens is they start screaming over it. I've tried to appeal to Nathan. Nathan has kicked him a couple times. Like a few days.
Twice yearly prep is here. One office visit every 6 months, 2 times a year for HIV prevention. That's why 2 Yes, 2 is 2 is an injectable prescription medicine that helps to protect against HIV through sex. One office visit every 6 months. One during your winter glam, and one during your summer glow. One during your winter shower, and one during your summer shine. You must be HIV negative to receive this too.
People aren't even really outraged. What he does, man, the first time I got on this app, the first day, I come in and chill.
Mountain, please, man. I don't really want to experience that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, listen, man. I'm telling you, I have enough legal experience in my life to know that you absolutely are going about this the wrong way, and you need to look at this from a legal perspective. A lawyer, you got to be your own courtroom advocate, and I'm just telling you, as another fellow American, you've got to be an attorney and a lawyer, even though you are not an attorney and a lawyer. And Brad is most definitely not in compliance. You need to try to never, ever slip out of compliance. Do not ever. I'm telling you, dude, unless you are suicidal or stupid, you will never, ever use this app to ever communicate threats of violence, because you can and will be held liable in a court of law. 100%. It's coming. That type of enforcement is coming. And do not be behind the curve, my friend.
Anybody knows some places in the world they call it Lechia? Does anybody knows about it?
Lechia is here from Romania.
Lechia? Lechia.
What?
Hello, moderators. This is Alistair. I'd like to be put in the queue, moderators. This is Alistair. Thank you, Al. This is Al. Put me in the queue. Thank you, moderators.
What's your point in contribution to the movement? That's great. You want a cookie for being in office? Like, what's your point? What's your contribution to the content and the topic of the room?
Nobody wants a cookie, Monica. Moderators, I'm asking to be put in the queue and to be acknowledged that I have requested to be put in the queue.
What the hell was the fucking point of you saying you're from Poland? Like, we give a fuck. What the hell?
So sorry.
He was asked where he was from. So,
Okay, so people tell me.
You should have said from Poland instead of just
I'm so obsessed.
Okay, so I could not hear his response to Monica's question of what his contribution was to the room because everyone else kind of talked over him. So we're going to go back to sorry. And go ahead. So what was your contribution? Perfect. Nothing?
Just checking, because somebody just muted me, but never mind. You know, I hold the stages, many stages before, here on Clubhouse. Even.
Hold us hostage? Yeah, I'm picking up on that.
Sorry.
Hello, moderators. This is Alistair. I'd like to be put in the queue and not forgotten. There are other people on this stage. I'd like to be put in the queue. Thank you. I'll get you gastric bypass surgery, Monica. If you want to put me in a straitjacket, I'd be happy to get you gastric bypass surgery. Or you could just stop going to Pizza Hut 3 days a week, or Subway, or Chipotle every day. It's up to you, Monica. You've got to be your own advocate.
Hold on now. Look, I noticed that the man left the room and everyone got out of control. I believe again, I just came to finish the bet. I didn't want to walk out. Hey, Chick, I got a phone call. I really didn't. But I'm coming back to finish the bet. And then I'll let y'all go. I'll let y'all go to town because I won't be here to listen to it. But here's the friendly bet, okay? Okay, depending on the specific name of it, so you know what it is. U.S. Supreme Court about to rule on race-based House districts.
Yeah, no, I'm in the southeast. The one that
Okay, it's called. Here's what it is. I just want to get the right name of it. The key pending case is Louisiana versus Callis. Callais. Could be Callis. Which directly addresses whether states can intentionally create additional majority black districts. Okay. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which they're talking about overturning. Here's the bet. Friendly bet. $1,000 if it goes in my favor in the sense of what we've chosen. Because, that they do overturn. And they strike that from Rule 2. Then I'll donate $1,000 to Catholic to the Catholic Church. And if we're both Catholics, okay? Look, I think it'd be a good friendly bet. If it happens that they uphold it, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, it does not get overturned, that you would donate $1,000 to the Catholic Church or Catholic Church charities. I want to donate it to the church, not the charities, but maybe you'd rather go to charities.
Right now, I'm doing something to hope and I'm something with the
I know, and I'm trying to bring you back in so I can be a Catholic.
Okay, we'll shake hands on that. I'll do it and then I'll send you a screenshot of doing it. I'll be part of my text.
This is so fascinating. This is Alistair. I'd like to just join the discussion and be put in the queue. I know Alchik loves to talk for hours on this app, but I'd like not to be forgotten. I will be succinct. I'd like to speak. Put me in the queue. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Y'all have at it now. Peace.
Joe, have a great time. I heard have a boat. It's on. It's on.
Hey everybody, this is Monica, Alistair, and I'd like to be put back in the queue. I'd like to request 60 seconds of mic time moderators. Thank you.
Everybody gets to go before hours.
Are you expecting
No, Beamer is saying that I gotta be at the back of the bus now. I gotta be at the back of the line because I tried to reserve some time, and she's disrespectful, and she's a terrible moderator. That's the truth. I'm complete. I was succinct.
I said I'm sending you to the nursery.
All right, moderators, I will request again 60 seconds of your precious time that you think is so valuable. I'm requesting 60 seconds, please.
Yes, request will be accepted. Ones that are voted, submitted as been acquired.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm just trying to be polite by requesting 60 seconds of your precious time.
Please let the microphone, please.
Alistair, it's cringe as fuck. We're trying to have a conversation, bro. It's cringe as fuck.
Well, I too am trying to have a conversation, but I can't seem to join the conversation. Therefore, I'm requesting 60 seconds of your time. For God's sakes, Archie, you must spend 6 hours a day talking on this app, and I can't say 60 seconds of words? For God's sake, Archie, stop saying cringe, horrible, and terrible. Try to learn some new English words, Archie. Maybe you could ask Monica to teach you a new English word every single day.
Because I don't want to hold you hostage, I will accept 20 seconds, no less, 20 seconds, okay, Alistair, of the Begonia song.
No, you don't get to request what I say. I'm requesting 60 seconds to speak to you from my inner depths of sincerity, and what you're doing is very insincere and not genuine, and I will be succinct, and I will be complete.
No.
Thanks, Chris President. Hold this count 3.
Look into gastric bypass surgery.
I'm gonna show everybody my ass in a reverse downward dog.
I'm gonna pick cookies and wipe it on my shirt.
I'm gonna not spread the replay and not delete the replay, so there's stress on Thanksgiving.
I do not understand.
People who don't know Clubhouse more should remain on mute while people cathartic with their grievances against John Kitover.
I'm a Jew and I should just control the world and I can't Okay, next step, go.
I said, Richard, I got clipped.
You proved it.
No, I'm just saying, I got clipped. And I didn't even say anything. I said, I left Clubhouse for 5 days to spend time with my mother. I logged back in on Clubhouse, and I was fucking clipped. I didn't even talk for 5 days. So I'm like, look,
You were supposed to sing when you said that, bro. You were supposed to sing. You fucked it up. That's what you're saying. You fucked it up.
Chuck, I'm just wondering, you talk so much on this app. Do you think there's like white flakes near the sides of your mouth or something? Like maybe you need to moisturize more, take a shower, do something other than talking here for 8 hours a day. I mean, are you trying to do anything productive? I know your leg is injured. Maybe you should try to moisturize, because I think you probably got flaky skins, in my opinion. I think you need to make sure your personal hygiene's in check before you decide to talk for 8 hours and say horrible, terrible, and cringe over and over and over again.
else like that.
We are being paycheck. I just checked. He has us figure out 4 lives. We
Relevant by streaming other people's thoughts and words on the internet.
Nobody comes to your room
Yeah, before I read you the Begonia song, I'd like to sing you a new song. It's a new hit called Gastric Bypass Surgery. Goes a little something like this.
Gastric bypass surgery. Gastric bypass surgery.
Begonia song or
Gastric bypass surgery.
Would there be Ozempic for someone to take, or version of Ozempic for someone to take to
Ozempic is for thee.
experiment on John Kitover Sorry, no one else is complaining about my low mic except you. They're on mute, so they actually can hear me. You should try it. You should try it.
John, can we get a couple seconds? Can we get a couple seconds?
60 second, we'll do 60 seconds.
We're doing 20 seconds of Begonia song or nothing.
Jake's here. What's up, everyone?
What's going on?
Another date. Where's the market? Oh my god.
I don't know.
So I guess the Pope he had to clarify. He felt cornered and sad, so he said, I did not.
Sorry,
I did not direct the tyrants to speak to Trump. He said he did not.
I don't forget.
Alright, wait, we're gonna listen to what he has to say real quick. I hope everybody can hear this. Slightly different, but this is Trump, not Pope's response. Okay. Oh God, did you hear what I just said?
Playing a video for us. You're lucky I don't have the mod that you need.
Thank you, sir. Please read it, sir. Okay, here we go. 50 seconds on the Pope.
Narrative that has not been accurate in all that has been done. Narrative that has not been accurate in all of the aspects of political situation. When on the first day of the trip, the President of the United States made some comments about myself. Much of what has been written since then has been more commentary on commentary, trying to interpret what has been said. Just one little example, the talk that I gave at the Current Meeting for Peace a couple days ago was prepared 2 weeks ago, well before the president ever commented on myself and on the message of peace that I am promoting. And yet, as it happens, it was looked at as if I was trying to cheat again the president, which is not my interest at all.
There we go. From the Pope's mouth.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Did you guys hear that?
Yes, the first American.
You know who else is from Chicago? I'm from Chicago.
He's like, he was surprised that his English is going well.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. What is this about Iran fully closed?
Wait.
Yeah, so they violated the terms of conditions. So it's supposed to open. Although who's talking and it's open? Okay. Love you, Pierre, but
I read the news article. Maybe somebody should read something and repeat what they read. The Iranians used a machine gun. They attacked a passenger ship. They attacked a storage ship. And now they will pay the price. Their navy was not completely obliterated, but we will obliterate it completely now. Thank you, Iran. You've restarted the war.
You're annoying. It would be nice if you could participate and get clear but the someone like me, I need to understand why, because I don't think that around it's straight. Okay, let's say late. Okay, and that's so in the link it says that remove some banner. Thank you, man. Let's see what's going on here. So we're here as a timeline and a clear understanding of what happened with Breakout was. Okay. President Donald said that the United States will not be blackmailed after the Iranian military has once again proclaimed the circles to be closed and allegedly fired on Saturday. So they can't blackmail us, Trump said. And many international shipping firms have rerouted their traffic to purchase energy from the United States for America more than years ago. The president added that more information about the state of negotiations with Iran will be released later on Saturday. Separately on Sunday, Saudi foreign minister Saeed said that there was no date set for further peace negotiations and that both sides must agree to a framework before sitting down again.
Where are you here?
While the administration is having great conversations with Iran, was trying to act a little cute. It's like these moments that I told you all the Trump. Like, I can just imagine. He said that this officer was trying to act a little cute. I quote, okay? Right, so he closed down the trail where he was just out after agreeing to open the waterway. See, I was very home. But as soon as he realized that, we could move on to the next step, he said, for silence. It comes after a spokesman for the Iranian military announced on Saturday that Iran would not allow safe passage for the vessels. I'm still not understanding the breakdown. The blockade has the potential to seriously wound the Iranian economy, with millions of the community forced to permanently shut down some oil wells because they're running out of storage. Okay, so we get that. So, Iran claims, let's see, Iran claims to shut down the ship was again over U.S. naval blockade. So it sounds like there was, what I'm understanding is that there was some sort of U.S. blockade. So, Iran is saying until the blockade is lifted,
They are not going to the reason. No, I think the most recent, another reason.
Yeah, the blockade has been there for like almost a week, and then Iran announced yesterday that they would open it. Trump never said he was going to remove the blockade. He just said they're saying they're going to open the strait. And then Iran said, hey, we lost our leverage. Okay, you know what? We're going to close the strait. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. The blockade is still there. So, in other words, what Trump is saying is, a week ago said, hey, or what, 5 days ago, whatever, said, all right, any ship comes in, we're blocking it. And then they said, okay, we're opening it. Trump never said, I'm removing the blockade. So it's open. They just announced it's open, meaning they're not going to act on anyone going in doing anything. Then they said, now it's just closed. Well, yeah, sure, but Trump still has to allow that ship to go in. So it's not. So it's important enough.
That's right, it's no blockade there.
Iran had agreed to suspend its nuclear program and hand over its enriched uranium from its nuclear sites at Esfahan, Fordo, and Natanz. The president said that he believed a deal with Iran could be completed in the next day or two, saying that the Iranians want to make a deal and he will get a deal later.
Moderators, this is Alistair. I'd like to be put back in the queue. I believe this is an open discussion, not completely focused on Iran. Thank you. Just asking to be put in the queue.
Reports emerging that Iran would only have around 2 weeks before having to start permanently shutting down crude oil production because it was running out of space to store the raw fuels. Once the tanks are filled, Iran would have to shut down its oil fields, which risk long-term damage to fields near coast. Okay. In addition to refusing to lift the blockade, the U.S. administration has also rejected fugitive funds, freezing billions in seized Iranian funds in exchange for its uranium, and said that there will be no time frame in which Iran can start its nuclear program under any deal with Washington.
Do you really believe that once, let's say, hypothetically, if the war with Iran fails, is Israel not gonna attack another country? I think, personally, I have nothing to Israel, I like America, but nothing to America, because I do not believe over there. I think because they were in the war, in the conflict, for over thousands of years, they need to have a conflict with somebody, and they will find it. They will find the conflict like or if it's gonna be Turkey,
that's actually not true. But underneath the dam, they haven't had a war with Egypt almost 50 years. They signed a peace treaty with Jordan. They've had a war with Jordan since 1996. Every single country, every single country that signed a peace treaty with Israel, they've had no wars. The problem is you have Hezbollah terrorism. Wait. You have problem with Hezbollah terrorism in the north of Israel, and they're attacking Israel. If these motherfuckers were attacking Israel, they're defending themselves. That's what they're talking about. Like, you really think Israel is the problem here? Israel doesn't, Iran attacked more countries than Israel ever did in their entire history.
Where are you from?
I have a question. What made you think that this was less of a misunderstanding than something else? Like, why? Because it seems to me that they felt that it was like a bait and switch. That wasn't.
So if you look yesterday, including Trump and also from the IRGC, but nowhere in those reports did it say the blockade from the U.S. stopped. Right? So they said the strait was open, right? And then they kept it going, and actually the U.S. allowed some ships to go in, and some ships went in and came out with the blockade saying, like, the U.S. forces did. Right? Maybe Iran assumed that, hey, as soon as we said it's open, they're going to remove the blockade. And we'll still have control, meaning they can shoot down some other ship if they wanted to, or do whatever they wanted to do in that area. And so the blockade just stayed, and actually Trump said, we're staying there, and we can actually have more like support over there until this gets resolved, please, inside the deal. So then they suddenly said that, the strait is closed. But it doesn't matter if they say it's open or closed, because there's a blockade there. So it's the U.S. that's controlling who goes in and out. And that's it. And that's what was squeezing. Still squeezing. Okay, sorry, you talk, no problem.
I tell you something.
Yeah, that was great. That was fine.
It's everybody
Sorry, King.
to market. Iranian leaders, they said that they were trading oil.
Okay, so expert on everything because he'll talk.
So I see King. So they thought they must that the U.S. was just going to back off, and I'm not sure that that's necessarily like. I mean, I don't know. I would think that if they were genuine to open
She's so
well, yeah, they're controlling it because they were attacked. I mean,
So the point that I'm trying to get across here, people, that I was explaining to you is that what happened is they had a discussion, they did it. I think they assumed, but see, I'm saying it's open and closed. So about 5 days ago, when the blockade started, the United States, oh my God, okay, they take action on it. It's ridiculous. But this guy thinks he knows everything. You want to tell us the entire world politics, bro? You know everything. It's ridiculous. So can somebody mute him or move him down for a few minutes until he comes back? So, all right. So anyway, you still there? Still with me? Yeah, okay. So the point that I was getting at is that about 5 days ago when Trump announced the blockade, Iran said the strait was open, right? But they would control who goes in and goes out. So they said we're in control. The blockade, now he's like, hey, we're in control. Oh, by the way, the ship said you want to get stuff in aren't coming. You're going to be screwed. And so it's like, oh shit, okay. Then Iran announced says the strait is open. Trump didn't say the strait is open. Trump says Iran says the strait is open. Meaning that he's showing, hey, you guys are saying you have a good intent. He didn't say I'm willing to. And then Iran probably said, okay, well,
Why are y'all getting your point of love? It's like you be doing
So that's fine. So all I was trying to say is that the blockade was still there, and so now Iranians are saying, okay, well, the port is closed. Well, okay, and the U.S. saying, well, that's fine. When that's open, when the U.S. open that road, we still control the ships that come in, and there's a reporting now that the U.S. is blocking some ship that was going to Iran, and, there was resources coming in. So the point is, that was always the case. The U.S. always had that ability to do it, whether they say it's open or not. So Iran was just flexing, saying, we're telling you it's closed now, come back in charge. They're not. But it gives the wrong impression. So even Trump went out saying, Iran can say or do whatever they want. They have to control themselves, and they have to say things because they have to show good faith from the end we're working on a deal and we'll move forward. So it could be just hyperbole, it could be whatever. We'll see what happens. But U.S. blockade is still there.
And it's blocked in China. That's the big thing.
And it's blocking Iran, just to be clear. It's blocking materials and stuff.
Yes, and it's blocking, Iran and China, their deals, and I'm sure those are big money deals, big billion-dollar deals. And I see the U.S. is definitely playing chess, basically saying, open it up. Right? That's so funny. Open it up. But we're good.
So I'm gonna pull my inner Jarl out for a second, okay, Jarl? So you're gonna like this. But why? One point is that you would think that the U.S. would have been smart enough to do this before. When they're doing their military exercise, they why didn't they do this from the start? They let Iran sell a lot of oil and stuff to make enough money while they were bombing the shit. It's almost like they underestimated Iran, which was, I think, I'm just being honest, like this blockade should have happened first, and then they go in and bomb the shit out of people, listen, surrender, and that's it, like you're basically gone, and this could have been done with this shit.
Well, there's only the eternal now, and the now is all important. And I hate to interrupt Acek, who's on here 10 hours a day talking and has a party hat. I'm sorry, party hats will have to wait. And people.
Enough. Stop talking. I want the United States to let me so wild out. Hezbollah. Because Hezbollah is so long. Israel, And every time it's like Emirates.
Because there's so many goddamn letters. NMIWG2 SLGBTQQIA plus. This stands for because it has something to do with missing. I was saying for missing and murdered indigenous women, girls in two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, and asexual. And the plus sign stands for any other gender identity not listed. And so folks in Canada have been weighing in on this because it comes from this woman who is a political activist. She's a Canadian